Hey everybody. So, some of you know I necked the CRT tube on this. Oh, let me switch to the cam. A couple of months ago, before VCF, I was on one of Dave's repair streams on Sunday, and I was a little tired, and I was putting the case back on this thing, and I dropped the case onto it, and of course it hit the CRT and necked it. So let me show you. Come on, tablet. There it goes. All right. So let's get up close and personal here. And it's kind of hard to make out, but if you look there, you can see that the end of the tube is broken. And thanks to the kindness of Ron from Ron's Computer Videos, I have a replacement unit that it's an SE that has, let me move this out of the way so you can see it. And if you take a look at the bottom where the logic board was, you can see that it's got a lot of corrosion, and so this one is in pretty rough shape, but the CRT is intact. So I'm going to do a transplant. I'm going to take CRT out of this one, put it in this one. Hopefully everything works. So let's see if we've got anybody watching. Okay. Hey Garth, how you doing? You've got to put a plus back together today. Well, good luck. Don't neck it. Okay. Because nobody wants to neck a tube. Neck with a tube? No, that'd be awkward. Anyway, yeah, some of the jokes around this is like, oh, I just need to suck the air out of this thing and, put some chewing gum or something on the back of it. It'd be just fine, right? But anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... I think I'm going to take the replacement tube out first. Set that behind me there. And of course, the first thing we got to do is discharge it. Because even though this has been sitting around for God knows how long without a board on it, hasn't been powered up, you can just pick up a charge from the atmosphere. So we will ground it, and using my handy dandy little Apple sanctioned tool, right? We're going to slip this under the analog cap, hopefully. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get. There we go. And put it right up against the anode, and it's not plugged in. I know there's some controversy over whether this should be grounded and plugged in and all that, but you don't want to do what I did on a live stream, which was I left it powered on and did this. Got a nice fat spark, but you really don't want that. So this is discharged now. And you need to pry up the clip. Can be a little difficult to get off. There it goes. Okay, so there's your anode cap with the leads. This goes to the analog board, which handles the powering the CRT. We've got the flyback transformer here in the anode. So now we have to remove the analog board, and that is held on with several screws. And I just so happen to have the service manual handy, so I'm going to roll back to, don't have to take the logic board out, it's already gone. There are 4 screws that are holding this in place. There are 2 here and 2 here. And I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see a little better. Oh, Garth, when you get it all open, what power supply model Sony is on that spare SE analog board? Oh, is there a desire for a replacement board? I don't know. There's the case for it. I guess we'll find out, huh? Well, that screw is loose. Doesn't feel like it's biting into anything. Oh, wrong screwdriver, that's why. There we go. I finally got smart and took a couple of drive magnets and stuck them on my desk so that I have some place to keep screws. Right now it's holding an old Rifa cap. Pulled that out of the Apple IIe power supply. I have to replace it yet. Well, I'm waiting on an audio adapter for the so I can go from the mono port on the Apple II SE cassette interface. Well, that's kind of corroded too. Cassette interface over to the my computer so that I can use ADT Pro to transfer disks. Okay, so those 2 screws are out. What else do I have to loosen up here? Well, supposedly that's it, but I seem to remember there was another screw. Well, there's the ground strap to the power supply. That needs to come off. Okay, that does feel like it's loose. So, very carefully, I think it's probably best if I unplug some of this stuff from the CRT. Whew, didn't neck it. That's good. Okay. We got floppy drive power supply here. Get rid of that. That's unplugged, so we don't have to worry about that. turn this so I can see what I'm doing. And check the chat. Hey, Ron. Unplug the Molex. Yeah. Got that right here. The HDD Power Molex. Oh, yeah, that's not floppy drive. That's the hard drive. Yep. Okay, it looks like the only other one to do is this one. And I need a flat. Well, I can use this. There we go. Well, these things are heavy suckers. Oh, ground strap. Duh. Need Torx for that. I feel like I'm going to lose that if I don't take it off. Okay. So, analog board's off. Yeah, I'm going to have to, fortunately I think these, I'm not going to have to take this yoke off because it should fit on the other SE without having to take it off. Assuming everything's equivalent. So here is, I don't know if you can see that, maybe better on this camera. That power supply's got some corrosion on it too on the case. You always take the 4 out of the PSU. Oh, so these 4 on the back that are holding the PSU on? Okay. But the service manual doesn't say to do that, Ron. Until after you take it off. Interesting. That would be easier though, wouldn't it? Right. Yeah, I could see why it would be easier to unscrew the power supply unit from the analog board, but while you're trying to take the analog board off so it doesn't get all hung up on it. So, but we're all good. So, all right. So I should be able to CRT, just take the CRT off at this point. I am going to prepare a place to set the tube down. Let's get this analog board out of the way. So one of the things I seriously lack is bench when it comes to this arrangement I have in my room. Someday when I get the garage cleaned up and get my kids' stuff out of it, I'll actually have room to use the workbench I have down here. Okay, one more. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do my endorsement. So, I am not endorsed by Guinness. They don't know who I am, but I like their beverages. And this is what I'm going to drink today. It's the Nitro Cold Brew Coffee. It has caffeine in it, so I can't usually drink these at night. Nice nitrogen fizz. If you haven't tried the cold brew coffee stout, it's very good. It should be outlawed. It's so good. All right, our CRT is off. So I'm going to very carefully set it down, not on top of the screwdriver. I don't want to scratch the screen. All right, so this is what's left. Now, when Ron gave this to me, he didn't tell me if the drive worked at all or any of that stuff, or if the analog board is any good. But I think what I'll do is reassemble all this and then make it a donation to somebody if they want to try to use the parts from it. Somebody might need a case, and this rust is bad here. I wouldn't use this without cleaning it up, but it shouldn't be too hard to clean up all that rust. And then I've seen people prime and paint them too, but I don't know if I'd go that far. But you definitely want to clean it up, but there's nothing wrong with it physically. So that should be somebody's neat project. Set that down. And the case has got markings all over it from where it was used. It's got some lettering on the side that is stencil painted on there, things like that. So all I really needed was the tube. All right. Oh. Now we got to do a similar operation here, and I am going to unscrew the power supply like Ron suggested. But first, let's get rid of the shield. And we're going to remove the logic board, which requires disconnecting some cables. It's kind of tight in here. I hate pulling cables off by the cable. Sometimes that's all you get. That's all you can do. Now this SE has a hard drive in it, and it works intermittently. But I did buy a Blue SCSI kit and intend to replace it. Okay. So going to discharge this. Well, let me pull this board out. I gotta get the power connector. Sorry, I'm distracting myself. Now, I doubt very much this can hold a charge with it necked, but I'm still gonna discharge it just because. Even if it's just for practice. Oh yeah, that's right, we got the audio cable. Don't want to forget that. I picked up this machine, gosh, several years ago. Craigslist, 25 bucks. And I was an idiot. He had the swivel stand that went with it, and I said, nah, I don't need that. So I wasn't really collecting then. I was just kind of getting started, and I don't know why I said I don't need it. I should have gotten it anyway. So, okay, so logic board's out. You know, I'm going to move this CRT. I have way too much experience now with breaking them. Oh. Coffee, beer. Yes, there's nothing better. I need to figure out the way to push two audio sources, my mic and audio input from Mac Apple II Capture into StreamYard via OBS. Well, I don't, unless they did something new, OBS does not put audio into StreamYard. You have to do that separately. So you're going to have some either a software mixer or a some other mixer that you can use to combine your audio signals. Oh, yeah, I know. I keep forgetting that you can just lift it up and pull it back. I don't know why I keep doing that. Yep, and swing it out like a door. Ron's right. So, I don't know if you can see it in the video here, but there are notches along here so that you just have to pull the board up like a quarter of an inch or a half an inch and then pull it off. But, you know, I forget quite frequently. All right, let's discharge this vacuumless tube just to be on the safe side. So you want to slide this underneath, touch the anode. Okay, we're definitely touching it, so everything's good. Now you can pull it off. Boy, that's tacky. Oh. I was watching, what was it, Adrian's stream where he had a bunch of, I think it was Adrian, I can't remember now, or was it Big Bad Biologist? Somebody had a whole bunch of new old stock in boxes for analog boards and stuff, and these analog caps turn to jelly. They just get extremely tacky, and they're oozing silicone or something. Yeah, voice meter. I tried using that, got frustrated with it, and then gave up because I really don't need to mix too much audio. So I'm actually considering getting some a small mixer, physical one that I could use for audio for a lot of stuff. But, you know, I'm going to have to happen across one. I do have an actual analog mixing panel for 8 channels, no power supply, but it was used at the Renaissance Festival outdoors, and it's flakier than all get out. I'm not even sure why they gave it to me. When the band decided to leave the Renaissance Festival, they're like, "Here, we thought you'd like to have this mixer." And I'm like, "Thank you." No power supply, you know, whatever. But you know, it was nice of them to think of me. But I really can't use it. No, voice meter is for the Windows. I'm not sure. You know, I needed to have a computer. I'm not sure if my desktop computer headphone or mic jack is working. The capture card I have doesn't have separate audio imports and all this kind of stuff. And I needed to have something to work with my Apple IIs with ADT Pro so I could upload and download discs, communicate with it. You use the cassette channels, and there's two of them. There's one for out to the cassette drive and one from in from the cassette drive. Anyway, long story short, thanks to Garth, I got this. Can't really see it; it's off screen. Mac Mini that's got a line in as well as a output jack, and I was able to get things tested out and working. So just waiting for another one of these. This is a stereo to analog jack, so that you can use stereo cables from the PC or the computer, and then convert it to mono for the cassette interface. I could wire one up by hand, but I thought I'd just go ahead and order some. There is a Mac version. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Anyway, back to this. So we need to unscrew several things here. I'm going to take Ron's suggestion and unscrew the power supply along with the analog board. I need to get some better screwdrivers. This poor thing is cheap, and I've ruined a couple of the flathead tips on it because it's so cheap. But quite frequently, this is the only thing that seems to fit. Yeah, for the cassette interface, it needs to be a mono interface, and it has to be a mono jack that goes into the cassette interface. It doesn't work properly if you're using a stereo jack. If you look at, I don't know if you can see this very well. Stereo jacks, you've got the ground and then the two channels. But for mono, you've got just two leads. Okay. Oh yeah, hard power supply. And I have a feeling I need to tip this way so that the power supply doesn't fall or something. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Don't really want to find out the hard way. There's a Mac version of something, I'm sure. Okay, so that's done. That's off. I need to unplug. These Molex connectors be a real pain in the ass sometimes. Especially when they're in a tight spot like that. Who was the brain surgeon that decided it should go in that way? I know you'd normally take the drive out and connect it, but who wants to take the drive out? Alright. What else we got here? Oh yeah, you got the ground strap, duh. Okay. And the other ground strap. Jeez, Eric. How many times do you have to do this? I don't know, how many times are you going to neck a tube? I haven't done that to a tube since I was in college and working in repair. The only person that was Apple certified in the repair shop was the guy that ran it, but the rest of us did the work. So, alright. So that's off. Oy. You know, I might just go ahead and pull this hard drive out while I'm at it, since I'm going to replace it anyway. But let's go ahead and get the CRT off. So I need the Mac Cracker. Yeah, apparently I always forget the ground straps too. I hope I don't forget the ground strap when I put it together, though. Oh, I thought that was magnetized. Those aren't tweezers. Ugh. Those are tweezers. No, one more screw. You forgot to connect the anode cap to a monitor once? Yeah, I bet you that was interesting. I saw a video yesterday. Somebody had a picture of a, you know, it was a compact Mac, and they had turned it on and it was arcing somewhere, and they asked what could cause that. Everybody's like, turn it off. Apparently the tube was had leaked. Okay. So this is my showcase tube now. So, you know, like kind of like this is your brain on drugs tube. This is your or video. This is your tube without a vacuum. So that I'm gonna have to figure out where I can dispose of that, because it should not just go in the trash for obvious reasons. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the hard drive off this thing. I think there's enough exposed here I could just take it out. No, of course not. I can't get to the other side of it. Fine, we'll take the whole thing out. So break it up. Yeah, see, I figure I'm gonna have to find. I could probably take it to my university surplus and have them e-waste it. I'll have to find out. But yeah, you don't want somebody to get injured on it. Oh, okay. 2 more screws. Yeah, unfortunately the township I'm in only does hazardous and, you know, free junk removal and stuff once a year. So so I can't just take it someplace and get rid of it. I do know somebody that works for a salvage yard, and they may have some place to take care of stuff like that. I don't know. I have a couple of people I could ask. You know, I'm sure the university takes them. Okay. Now we have an activity light that's on here, so I need to make sure I save that. We're just going to go ahead and pull that off the drive. So we got our LED still. Never have enough SCSI cables. So we will save that. There we go. Now, somebody told me that you can, from the sound of this, they thought it just needed lubrication to work properly, but I'm not going to mess with it. I mean, it's from, it's a mini scribe from 1988, I think. I mean, it's the original. Yeah, it's got a marking on it. 13 May 1988. Anyway, could use it as a paperweight. Oh man, look how, I don't know if you can see that, how dirty that floppy drive is. Here's another project. It's got dust bunnies like you wouldn't believe. Wow. Maybe I should clean that up before I put it back in here. This is turning into a project. I mean, it literally is just caked with stuff. Ugh. I'm surprised it works. Yeah, I'm replacing it. There's no point in messing around with it anymore. Garth, I'll mail it to you. You have a working one? Yeah, what was that project that was online the other day? Somebody's got a replacement for the 20SC hard drive. Yeah, Sunday I could do the floppy cleanup. Yeah, I think I'm going to. But let's get the tube in. Yeah, I can. Wow, yeah, I'm down to just the frame. I've never stripped one down this far. It's in pretty decent shape. I got it from the original owner. So, I mean, other than being yellowed, and the case had a sticker on the side, of course. One of the Apple stickers. Okay. So, and I've run out of magnet space. I guess I need more magnets. Get this out of the way. We're going to set you over here. Stay back audio cable. Where am I going to set you? I'll set you here. There you go. Okay. You've been collecting dead hard drives for what? Yeah, fully wash each bit. Yeah. Yeah, this one's actually pretty clean, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. But maybe I'll try cleaning up the case from the donor that Ron gave me. Let me see if I can get it without knocking over a bunch of stuff. Hang on. So it's got painted markings on it, and also pretty dirty. It's got this security thing glued to the side of it. It's missing one of the feet. All in all, it was a well-used machine. So, but you could see how far I could go cleaning it up. Time for a drink. Oh, God, that's so good. when I get Macs, suddenly I get even more Macs. Now I have too many Macs. Well, better too many than too few. It's only an addiction if, well, if it's an addiction. So, like me and caffeine, we are best friends. All right. Before I forget how to do this, so the reverse of this, I have to put the tube in first. And since I don't have to remove the yoke or anything, okay, which way did it go? It goes this way. I don't have to worry about adjusting the yoke. So that's good. Yes, that was computer number 3. And of course I'm not paying attention to which these are drive screws. And I put all the ground screws on the magnet, or the CRT screws. Don't put this one in yet because I got to put the strap back on it. Get the right tool, Eric. Scrape, scrape. You have a 2C CRT sitting on the shelf that is asking to be inside a compact sometime. Oh, a green phosphor one. So you could do a Hulkintosh or Green Goblin Tosh, or I don't know, Ghostbuster Tosh, something like that. That'd be cool. Okay. Let's see how it looks from the front. It looks like a tube. Okay. Next, not going to put the drive back in yet. We'll leave that out. Should make it easier to put things in, huh? We are not going to mess with this area. Yeah? Daniel Tosh. Yeah, you know, Mac Effects should continue making cool things. I'm definitely into that. Alright. I always forget what the reverse of things is. CRT is in. I need to get the analog board back in and power supply so I can start connecting stuff up. Oh.
That's not right. What am I doing? Yeah, it is. Isn't it? See, this is why I don't like taking things apart. Seems like it'd be easier to have that on the board and put it in. Yeah, so now I have to use my lap. I think I'd rather have this screw down. Curses, if I only had a bigger bench. Oh, come on. I'm doing this the hard way.
Don't brush up against the tube.
Yeah, that's true. And this isn't even really a bench. It's just a desk. But it's what I've got to work with. until the garage gets cleared out enough that I can actually use the damn workbench that I built. When I was doing I built a guitar a few years ago, and I had first thing I did was build a workbench because I didn't have a workbench to work on, which is kind of fun. I found somebody was throwing a frame out for a workbench, and I just bolted 2x6s across it and planed them down to make a bench out of it. It turned out pretty nice. But now it's covered with stuff. It helps if you do this the right direction. Okay, so we got to get these stuff out of the way. That wasn't so bad. That is not the right one. Which one of you is threaded? Putting the wrong screw back in. I feel like I'm putting the wrong screw in. Oh. Yeah, see you, Garth. There we go. Oh. That needs to be in, not out. There we go. Glad I noticed that before I started screwing it in. What's keeping you from going down? All the way down there. You are not lined up. Ah, there we go. Okay. Ron, you're trying to get all your blue scuzzy stuff sorted out now that I have enough SD cards to populate all my devices. Yeah, I've got images scattered all over the place on my hard drive. And so it's a bit of a mess. And of course, you know, the older stuff is stuff that I don't really use. I should just get rid of it. I did finally start making subdirectories for each machine so that I could put machine related stuff into them. You'd think I would have done that from the start. Don't know why you don't want to go in. Because I just don't have it at the right angle and at the right spot. Hey Trina. So I don't comment you made the other night. I do not have a picture of me in my Star Trek garb. I've got an earlier picture before I had the Class A uniform. So I'll definitely have to get some pictures of that when I go to work. I have a sneaky suspicion my daughter, who works in the same department I do, and I will probably be the only ones dressed up for Halloween at work, but I don't really care. Work with a lot of people that don't celebrate Halloween. If I could celebrate Halloween year-round, like once a month, I'd do it. Okay, I've got the power supply screws are in. Okay, that's grounded. Let's get the rest of this hooked up. So I think I'll do that one last. This one's got to go in here. Do not break the tube, Eric. Okay, that goes to the floppy drive. This has got to go here, which means one of the big screws. Well, so far, knock on wood, I haven't destroyed this tube. So that's good. Okay, that ground's on. Let's get the anode in. Still sticky. Ugh. Okay, it's definitely got a direction to it. So let's make sure. Okay, that's in. Ground, ground. I'm always forgetting grounds. Okay. All four corners of the tube are screwed in. That's plugged in. This is plugged in. That's on. Just triple checking everything. Say that at the end of the stream. Oh, shoot. What did I do? Knock on wood? Yeah, I probably jinxed myself. So, I don't know. What do? Touch CRT? All right. I think I'm ready to put the logic board back on. Now, what kind of shape is the floppy drive in on this? That one looks just as dirty. I don't know. Maybe I should go ahead and put the floppy drive back in, even though it is filthy. I can always take it out tomorrow. Well, I don't really need it to be able to test, though. It'll just be going, huh? Where's the drive? Okay. And as Ron pointed out, this does not have to go all the way in from the top. It's got notches. Now I want nachos. We just need to offset it. And I need to put my glasses on so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Put it in the slot. There we go. Tab A fits into slot B. The board's a little dusty. It could use a clean. Not today. One thing at a time. Okay. Board's in. I plugged in the speaker. Power supply's plugged in. We'll just leave this here for now. What else? I need to screw in. No, that's part of the screws that go into the case. Right? For testing the screen, why even put that whole mess back in there. Yeah, I could just use, if I can find it in my pile of stuff, an external Blue SCSI to boot from. Assuming I've got the right image on it. I need to order some more. There is a thing in here. I have no idea what I have on it. Let's find out. Okay. We got enough of the wires back together. Ground, analog, or anode, cathodes on. Cathode's plugged in, power's plugged in, the yoke is plugged in. Dust bunnies are still there. Does SE have Terminator power or not? Board's got RAM on it. Keyboard, mouse. Ugh. Oh. Keyboard. And a mouse. And somewhere around here I have power. And I need a keyboard cable. Bear with me a second. See, I organized all my stuff, so now I can't find anything. We'll just steal this cable from this computer. Okay. I think we're ready to try it. Is it fixed yet? Can you have it? Oh, did Retro Techie join? No, plans haven't changed. I'm just moving very slowly. So, because I just don't want to screw it up. Yeah, I need term power. Okay. USB somewhere. Oh, are you saying it is term powered? Or do I need to provide power to it? believe it or not, I do have some USB cables I could use. I just have to find it. Let's get this drive out of the way. That one's plugged into that camera, so we can't use that. That one's plugged into that one. No, come on, where's the box with the cables? Nope, those are hard drives. Nope, that's memory. That's iPhone junk. That's USB-C. Ah, here we go. It's pretty short. I think it'll work. Knocking everything over. Not quite. Now see, I thought I had prepared and got everything I needed for this today. Oh, wait a minute, here's another one. And it's just as short. And here's an extension cable. Finally. Ta-da! Okay. I think we're ready to go. Yeah, power. And it's off. Three, two. Oh, I'm not going to be able to see the screen this way. See if I can get this. Okay, it's going to be a goofy angle, but you guys will be able to see it. Let's turn it upside down. Nope, let's not turn it upside down. Good enough. Got a chime. Got a cursor. Got rounded corners. And it's looking for a disc. Okay, it works. Yay. Now I just need to put it back together without necking it again. Oh, wait a minute. It should have booted off the... Well, I don't know what kind of image I've got in this thing. Or if it even has a boot image on it. It might not be set up to boot. But I'm going to say it's good. We'll... I'll get it set up to boot later. So let's get it back together. Okay. I could just go ahead and clean the drive. I don't know. Well, let's get the case back together, and then I'll see if I can find an image to boot from. I'm sure I've got one I can just copy onto that chip. So I'm feeling optimistic, so I'm going to put it all the way together. That's the way I roll. Assume everything is perfect without trying it. So this is the rest of... Well, let me get this back up here. Don't hold that over the case. Alright. So this is the case that this came with, which is, it's yellowed, but it's in pretty good shape. It's got where that sticker was attached to it, though, if you can see that. Yeah. So I need to clean it off. So can he put the back on without necking it? Yes! Yay! Go team. Hey, Jeremy. The patient lived. The transplant was successful. I didn't kill the patient in the process, too. So, I mean, you could always have a dead patient and a successful operation, but in this case, it appears that I had both a live patient and a successful operation. So I'm happy. And thank you again to Ron from Ron's Computer Videos for supplying me with a replacement CRT. And somebody will be able to get a case that they can clean up and use for another SE. Or maybe I'll clean it up, and so I haven't retrobrighted yet, so it'd be interesting to see what happens with that case, because it's pretty gnarly. Alright, so we have a restored SE. Clean that screen off a bit.
I got some swabs here somewhere. I'm running out of them. I'll have to go steal some from my wife. She uses them to take makeup off. A little bit of dirt. The screen's got a couple of crunchy spots on it, but excuse me, that's the beer talking. But all in all, it's in pretty good shape. It works a lot better than the last screen I had on there, right? Send the extra case to Rudy. Yeah, Rudy. Got another SE for you to fix up. Yeah, if Rudy's looking for a case, I mean, it's not in great shape, but it's functional. Maybe he'd like to take a stab at cleaning it up. So I'm gonna see if I can get an image on here. To do with my adapter. Adapter. There it is. Get this out of the way for the moment, so I can actually use the keyboard for the computer. So I guess I'll be cleaning up another floppy drive for Dave's stream tomorrow. If you guys aren't familiar with Dave streams every Sunday, just about, and it's a, just work on whatever you need to work on kind of a stream, so it's great. I believe it's 9 a.m. Pacific, and which would be noon Eastern time to do that, so check it out. So Garth, you're using the loopback tool so that you can, monitor the input through the output, or what are you using it for? Oh, yeah, I was going to check this image and see what I've got. Yeah. Just a moment. What is on you? Oh, there isn't any image on here at all for a hard drive because I was going to update this for the beta so that you could do the shared stuff, and I never got around to it before I went camping. I ran out of time. So, oh, I see. So you're combining multiple inputs into one virtual one. Yeah. Ooh, two Apple Cinema Cinema displays. That's something I don't have yet. I don't have room for them either. Okay, so there's nothing on this drive. I need to find where I've got something for an SE. Projects. Macintosh. AUX is not going to run on there. The iMac G5 is not going to run on there. The 2CI might run on there, but what else have I got? Well, the Mac Plus image should work. Actually, you know what would work great? And Ron recommends this all the time, is to use the recovery CD and boot from that. And he's got an excellent video on how to set that up. And it'll boot from just about anything, 68K. I just need to figure out where I left it. Did I leave it under Blue Scuzzy? I bet you I did. No, I didn't. Come on, Eric. I bet you. So this is what I need to do. I need to sort out all of this stuff so I've got everything cleaned up and in the right place. I know I have it, I just have to find it. Ah, found it. Copy. Paste. Now I just have to wait for the HDA file to copy over. You know, I've got so much stuff from VCF and from Ron donating to the channel, and the Apple II, and getting the drives cleaned up, and I'm waiting on a cable so I can get the second drive working with it. Come to find out, the problem with the drives wasn't the drives at all. It was the controller card, the slot so corroded that you have to wiggle and play with it for it to work properly. So I need to deox it and clean it up. The board needs to be come out and be washed, but so I've got that. It's sitting here behind me. I've got that 2E
with 2 drives. I just need a second cable so I can have the second drive going. And the reason for that is that I want to try out the Pascal system that was made for the Apple II. They converted the one of the university's Pascal systems over to the Apple II, and it needs 2 discs to really work. I also need audio cables, another audio cable so I can get ADT working properly, so I can, get some discs. And I want to shout out to where did I leave the box? Shout out to Garth for sending me a box of floppies, and Adam gave me a DOS 3.3 floppy that I was able to use to test things with. So thank you to Adam as well. But I'm getting all the pieces together so I can get that set up, so I can do some programming on the Apple II other than just BASIC. So got that whole thing, and then there's all the TI 99.4A stuff I picked up that I got to go through. So I've got a ton of stuff to go through right now, so it's unlikely that I'm going to buy anything. Yes, box of floppies. So, and the sad thing is, I had probably at least 100 floppies that I threw away back in the 90s because who needs them, right? So, okay, so that image is on there. That should work, so let's eject that. Eject external. It is safe to remove your media. Okay, so let's put it in the SCSI. Alright. I'm going to turn this around. No, I need it this way so you guys can see the screen. Well, I could turn it this way and point the camera at it. That'd be easier. So we got that on there. Get the keyboard back and the mouse. Move the PC keyboard out of the way. Untangle the mouse. Drink some more Guinness. So good. Wrong cable. Get some power into this blue SCSI. Power on that. Pardon the vomit cam. Do I have a place I can set this? Maybe. As I throw all of you around. Oh, come on. It looks huge. Gee, the soft power doesn't work with these things. We got a cursor. You know what I'm missing? I'm missing something. What is going on here? Oh. getting a sad Mac. It doesn't want to boot from that image. Oh, now it's booting. Maybe I just didn't have it seated all the way. Of course, now you can't see it either. So, I'm going to move the camera again. No, it started to boot and then I got a sad Mac. Maybe it's that image. Let's try a different one. Of course, I got this big honking Mac in my way. I can't see it. %52 complete. Okay, so that's on here now. Let's see if that works. Eject. You know, let me check something. Does this thing have enough power? Why do they always make the text so frickin' small on these things that you can't read it? The This might not have enough, this power supply might not have enough amperage. Now that I'm looking at it. I'm going to use a different one. We'll tap it with the Guinness can, maybe that'll help. Hey, there we go. Could have been just the power I was given. The blue SCSI wasn't sufficient. Didn't somebody have that problem recently? Where it took them a while to figure that out. That's frustrating. Okay, so we got system. Yay! It works. Okay, well maybe I've got a project for tomorrow then, for Dave's stream. I'll get the floppy drive in here, get it cleaned up. Maybe I'll build a blue SCSI tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to say that this is a success. I got a tube in here and got the back on without breaking the tube. Go figure. Well, let's put this camera back. Alright, so I'd say that is a success. I can't see around the computer. Anyway. Take it all apart. Yeah. Successful. Fixed the problem I created a few months ago. Thanks again, Ron. Really appreciate it. It's a big help getting this thing back to working. Oh, ugh. And it's a relief because I still have my TRS-80 Model 102 that I borked when I recapped it. I've got to do that too, but that might actually wait until September next year for me to tackle it, because I'm going to have to do trace out the traces to see if they're traced and working, because I burned areas of the board, I'm pretty sure, when I recap that. Shouldn't do work like that when you're tired. What are we talking about rats for? Very large rats. All pigeons are rats. Yes, flying rats. Is that a micro USB? Not sure what you're talking about. The reason why I mentioned the Apple Cinnamon displays is because I rather adapt that to DVI. Oh, okay. So I've got so many random pieces of tech now that I'm trying to organize it in little bins and things, and it's like, do I consider audio cables to be the same as video cables and put them in the same box or not? Maybe I did one day, and another day I didn't. I'm trying to label everything. I still have a big stack of stuff to go through from VCF that I haven't. It's just sitting here. One of the things was doing the CRT and getting it done. So I'm glad I got that out of the way. No, there isn't really anything else to do right now. I need to, I think I'm going to pull the floppy drive out of this the Donor SE and see what I can do with it. See if it could be cleaned up too. Might as well do 2 drives tomorrow, right? Well hung shelves. Well hung shelves, yes. Wall hung shelves help. Yeah, part of the problem is that you got to have walls that you can hang shelves on. And I've got bookcases lining one of the walls here, and unfortunately it has my youngest daughter's stuff in it. This thing behind me here is elevated up, and it's got bins with her stuff in it underneath. I have a garage that has a beautiful workbench that I made, so I could do some woodworking and stuff, and it's completely covered with things, and it's surrounded by other things, and some of it's woodworking stuff, like my father-in-law last year had to go into a home and sell his house, and my brother-in-law didn't want to fill his garage up with stuff, so he's like, well, you work with wood, here, why don't you take the the chop saw and the all the other stuff, and yeah, you need this tool cabinet. And so my garage is like packed to the gills with stuff. I'll have to play Tetris and pull everything out in order to put it, to rearrange things and put it back in. What I really should do, and I can't, is have a massive garage sale and just get rid of a bunch of it. But and then both my daughters have bins full of stuff in the garage, which is fine. I mean, that's they're still getting their feet wet. One of my eldest lives with us, and which is great because she's banking her salary, and she'll be able to start out on a great foundation after she pays off her student loans and stuff, which makes sense. Not charging her rent or anything, because I didn't have that opportunity when I was young, and I'd like her to be able to get out of debt and not have to borrow every time she needs to do something. So that's the least I can do to help her. The younger one, moved to Virginia, and she left and traveled down there on a train, so she couldn't take all of her stuff with her. But yeah, anyway, long story. Eventually I will pull things out of the garage, get rid of the stuff I can get rid of, and maybe I can take half of it over so I could use it for working on this stuff instead of doing it inside this tiny little room. But who knows? It just takes time. And I'm tired. And I'm not getting any younger. Yada, yada, yada. Old guy stuff. So anyway, Dave's stream is tomorrow. I'll probably join that for a while and work on some floppy drives. And then hopefully I'll get some stuff delivered here tonight so that I could mess around with the Apple II and get both drives running and try some stuff out there. So should be fun. I think that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm glad everybody was able to join. Again, Garth, thank you for all the help. Oh yeah, shout out to Rudy too. I was missing the chicken lips, I guess it's called, key, the Commodore key on my Commodore 64 keyboard. And he was kind enough to send me a replacement key and a spring for it, so the keyboard's complete. There'll be more coming with that. And then, like Garth, I said, sent me discs and stuff. And Tom helped me out with some parts so that I could get the 64 going. And a lot more to come. I want to get programming environments set up on all of those so I could do them. I was hoping to get a C programming environment set up on the Apple II, but even though there are 3 different C environments, that processor was not very good for compiling C programs and running them on there. So I'm going to do Pascal. Even though I don't really like Pascal, it's a legitimate language. And then, yes, Jeremy, I will definitely contact Rudy about that case. So I owe him. I also owe Trina. I've got a laptop that died on me, and I said I would send it to Trina. I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. I'm also sending some TI multiplan discs and the cartridge to Taylor and Amy for their show, because they've got that TI with the peripheral expansion box, and the only way multiplan works is with that PEB. So that way they'll be able to play around with the PEB and do some stuff. So there's a lot more to come. And the HyperCard thing. I ended up doing this because I wanted to get this out of the way, but I really need to, I keep saying this, I need to get back to recording HyperCard videos. So live streaming is a lot easier. Hey, Big Bad Biologist, hi. So I'm doing my, the Michigan goodbye, where everybody says goodbye 30 times before they actually leave a half hour later. Yeah, Trina, when I get to it, I will. But it's one of those things where if only you were in the U.S., the shipping would be a lot more reasonable on that stuff. So, but I will get to it. I don't know. I guess that's it. I want to thank everybody again for joining. So I'm going to play the outro stuff, but again, thanks to everybody that supports me either with donations to the channel or through Patreon. So I'm thinking about setting up a coffee. I've got to talk to Mr. Dangeresque about that, because there might be an affiliate program or something where you could get a kickback on that if I set it up. Well, you did miss out on the fun and watching me frustratingly change a tube, but it successfully, I fixed it. I didn't break it. So there's also, let's see. Oh, I picked up a Mavica camera at VCF, and unfortunately it doesn't work, but Ron was nice enough to tell me about one that was within his area, and he went and picked it up for me and is sending that to me. So I plan on playing around with that and using it to shoot pictures that I can get onto the Mac and do that kind of mix up that photography thing that I do too. So yeah, there's lots of stuff I could do over the next year. Gonna have a lot of fun doing it. Yeah, it's great. It's a fully working one, and I'm really looking forward to playing around with it. It's the floppy disk 200, which is yes, Ron is a cool dude. So it's the Mavica. It's the FD200 is the version that actually takes a Sony memory stick too, so you can use a floppy or the Sony. So it's one of those transitional kind of cameras where You know, you had two possibilities there. But I'm really intrigued by using a floppy disk in a camera like that. See how that works out. Gosh, what else? I feel like I have so many irons in the fire. Oh yeah, the AUX stuff. You know, the 2CI that I got from Zodium. And again, thank you, Zodium. That's something that's set up with AUX that I'm doing some programming on, but I need to get back to it. I also have, thanks to Garth, boy, I pay it forward to so many people. And Ron, I've got a Quadra 610 that I could install AUX on and get up and running. So I need a blue SCSI in there too. So lots of stuff to come. Yeah, a 5 1/4 inch floppy camera. Maybe we should build one. I mean, why not? How hard would it be, right? You could use use some kind of Raspberry Pi or something like that to build it. I imagine. Seems like you'd be able to do it. So, yeah, what I'd really like to do is set up a camera that would do, what do you call it? The dithering algorithm that, you know, was it Bill Atkinson that created that? I think so. I might be wrong. You know, I had that dithering algorithm they used for doing 1-bit images and stuff. Wouldn't it be cool to have a camera that did that kind of dithering and then printed out your picture? Kind of like an old Polaroid would or something like that, and it would be a dithered image. That would be a cool thing to build. I don't know why we couldn't do that, but that would be a neat thing. Take it to VCF, walk around, take pictures, candid pictures of people, and then tear off the picture and give it to them. Hey, Rudy is here. Hey, Rudy. Ron gave me a donator Macintosh SE super drive, so I could pull the CRT from it. But now I got a case, and I mean the case is okay. It's cosmetically pretty dirty, but the case is okay. The frame needs some love because it's got rust on it. But if this is something you'd be interested in, somebody told me you were, Jeremy said you were possibly looking for an SE case. So let me know, and I will get it to you eventually after I get through all the other ones I've got to get out. So everybody's showing up now. Maybe I should just keep talking. That'd be sure to send people away, right? I don't know. Not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of the day today. Start a petition to keep the stream going. I could tell you tales of old back in the day, but I've done that before. Yes, Rudy. If you want it, we'll make sure you get it. Listen to the bearded man. Boot the SE and play a game. That would require me putting a game on it. It would take a little while for me to set that up. What I should do, I could pull out the laptop and stream that. I actually could do that. Sure, hey, I tell you what. Why don't we do this? I'm going to take a couple of minutes. I'm going to check with my wife and make sure that everything's cool. And I'll be right back. I'll set up the laptop and I'll go over one of my HyperCard games. We could do that. So give me a couple of minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody's alive, so I am going to set up this laptop so I can capture it. Give me a minute to untangle things. Or did everybody leave while I was away? Which wouldn't surprise me. Nope, you're still here. Okay. So I guess I'm still on the hook to do this. Let me get things plugged in. So let me tell you about the game a little bit. there's this really cool ancient game that's been around thousands of years that is it's a board game. You could think of it as a precursor to backgammon, which is a strategy and luck game, so that you can't rely on either. You have to have both. That's called the Royal Game of Ur. They didn't know at the time the name of it or what the rules were. They were doing a dig in Ur in, Mesopotamia. So, Sumerian, anyway. And came across this board, and it was really a box, and it was completely flattened, and they had to very carefully take it out. But it's this game board that was also a box that carried the game pieces in it and the dice, and they had no idea how to play it. They could tell it was some kind of a race game, but they couldn't figure out anything else from it. And then, and I talked about this on Ron's stream, the British Museum has a curator there. They found this decades ago. Well, he is one of the curators for the Babylonian clay tablets and things. And there's 500,000, 50,000 clay tablets in their collection. So it takes a while to go through. A lot of them were found in the 1800s and early 1900s. And he came across this tablet that was a letter from one person to another talking about a later version of the game that was from, I don't know, the 500 BC or something like that. Well, this later version had a lot of betting rules, and it was complicated and had a lot of stuff. But if you took that complicated game and stripped it down to the simplest version of it, you get an idea of what the game would have been like to play, and what everybody would have known the rules for. Kind of like chess. You go around the world, almost everybody knows how to play chess, or understands the rules for it, and it's common. Well, this would have been the common game, or one of them, that everybody knew how to play in the ancient world. So the guy's name is Finkel, and he's a very interesting character. The British Museum has a YouTube channel, and they record videos and things like that about their their curated objects, and discuss the the history of them and everything. And so he's no exception. He explained how it works and all the stuff behind it. There is a tabletop person, and I don't remember his name, but he's famous in the UK for tabletop gaming and stuff, who did a video with him where Finkel showed him how to play the game. They discussed it and everything. It's a really interesting board game. Anyway, I wanted to create a HyperCard version of it, so I did. And I'm sorry this takes so long to set up, but it does. Because, of course, I don't have everything set up for it. And where is the end of this network cable? That is not the one I want. This is the one I want. Okay, and I need well, there's no sound effects in this game, so I'm not going to bother with the sound setup. But I do need You know, Apple, a cable for everything. So this is my arrangement for being able to capture video. History stream. Yeah, Finkel is really a cool guy. He, when he was a kid, he wanted to be a curator at the museum, and lo and behold, he was able to do it. So, how many of us know what we want to be when we're children and actually attain that? So, and of course, this needs a different. Why do they do this? It takes a different USB connector. I hate that. That's audio. Okay, that's set up. This is the HDMI cable that I need. Now we got the long chain going. That goes over there, that goes over there. I think I'm actually ready to boot. Love that sound. Installing Linux Mint onto a desktop. Yeah, I don't recall trying Mint. Isn't that a derivation of Ubuntu? Oh, yeah. Now I got to get OBS set up to... Yeah, wow. So of course OBS is like has crazy settings for. I need to look this stuff up to see if there's some way to set this up so it's not so crazy about the. I don't like that scaling because it's on custom instead of default. There we go. That's better. Wow, the colors are really screwed up on this. I haven't had that happen before. That is jacked. What is going on? I'll wait for it to start up. Maybe it'll clear up. No, this is not a normal display. Usually it's quite good, so I'm hoping it's not the scaler I'm using. It could be. I'll wait till it boots and then I'll check the external monitor settings. Of course, it's been a while since it's been plugged in, so I forgot what date and time it is. Sorry about the dinging. Yeah, I used this while I was camping and it worked just fine. So, well, I didn't use the capture card. In fact, I'm going to hook up an external monitor just to double check to make sure that it's not something screwy with the video. There's at least one outlet still free. Okay. Oh, excuse me while I do this. Oh, it would help if the other end of the VGA cable was plugged in. Well, image is fine here. So it's the scaler doing something weird. So we'll power off the scaler. Either that or it's the Elgato capture card that's doing it. We'll plug that back in. Yeah, it's still screwed up. Wonderful. Get rid of this thing. Just love it when equipment works the way it's supposed to. Is it loose? You You would think that would cause it to either always work or never work. Of course, this is a real pain in the butt to get to. Crap. Does not appear to have made any difference. Ow. Oh, great. That's what I get for buying cheap junk. Well, let's see how the game looks here anyway. Well, maybe I could restart this. No, because it's not that. That's weird. It doesn't seem to matter. When worked PC has AUX stuff. Reboot the scaler. Yeah, I powered it off and on. Here, I know what I can do. I could try the HDMI output from the scaler on the other monitor and see whether or not eliminate that. So let me try that. And if this works here, then there's two things. It's the capture card or it's OBS. Okay, it looks okay here. I'll show you guys the screen. Grab the webcam. So it's not the HDMI scaler. It's either OBS. Sorry. It's either OBS or it is or it's the Elgato capture card. That would require rebooting my computer to see if that makes any difference, or stopping OBS. So maybe the stream isn't destined to be done. I could play the game on archive.org, but it's too slow there to work. Let's see, what else can I do? I could run an emulator. So this is turning into the troubleshooting your capture stream. not as fun. Let me see. I think, do I have this on Mini VMac? Projects. VMac. Nope, it's not there. Uh-huh. I might have it on this disk. Nope. But I could very easily get it. Sorry that I know this is not very exciting. I'm not sure I could talk and also look at the same time. I'm kind of, it's difficult for me to do that, but I need a disk image that's got that on there. And I thought I had one for that. Maybe. I've got it over here. I have the Wordle program on Mini VMac, but I don't have the other one. I'm more interested in talking about the Royal Game of Ur than I am Wordle. I think everybody's probably tired of Wordle by now. Can newer Mac OSs read Linux partitions? I think there's a tool for Linux to read the Mac OS partitions, I think, and mount them. But I don't know about the other way around. Was there a video filter active on that? You know, I should check. So I need to... There shouldn't have been one, but that doesn't mean there wasn't one, right? So let's look. You know what? There is. And you know why? Because I was capturing output. Ha ha ha! You are a smart man. It's because I was capturing output from the 2E. Here we go. Yeah, Garth, we really were starting to wonder if that was you or maybe the bird that was doing the stream. Okay, problem solved. Let me catch up on the chat here. Well, let's hope that the game's actually installed on here. Obviously, you can see I was playing. Oh, I'm clicking on OBS. That doesn't work. I was playing a little Oregon Trail. HyperCard. So it'd be under development. Slideshow I did for Joe is in here. The Macintosh stuff is in here. Okay, so or did I have example stacks? Did I put it in here? Aha! Finally. Okay. All right. So this is a fairly simple HyperCard game. Come on, start. It's trying. There we go. All right. Yeah. I did actually have didn't I have myself talking on that though? Yeah. It was silent for most of it and then I ended up joining it. I'll probably do something like that for Halloween. I'm working on something where I can do that. But Ron, you came back at just the right time. Who was it that figured out the problem? Yeah, now I gotta go look because I gotta give credit where credit's due. 1-Bit Fever Dreams. Is there a video filter active on that video input inside OBS? Hell yeah. I was streaming from the Apple IIe and increased the contrast drastically and sharpened it and did a bunch of stuff to it and then totally forgot that I left it that way. What I should have done was set up a scene that's just for the Apple II capture. And so the issue was filtering that was set up on the capture card that was making it look great for an Apple IIe and really crappy for a color Macintosh display. And of course, I assumed it was hardware all along. Eliminated some of the hardware and just a video filter in OBS. Duh. So. But again, I'm going to point out that I was able to replace that CRT in the SE without breaking anything. So, it's all good. All right, getting back to the Royal Game of Ur. So, this is a HyperCard stack. Let me grab the right mouse. That I created with some very simple graphics. This is a clay tablet that's similar to the one that Finkel found the rules on. And this is some very dithered art of a bull that was from the same dig that they found it. So there's an about and more Sumerian art. So the Royal Game of Ur. This is my addled Aardwolf. It used to be the awkward Aardvark, and now it's the addled Aardwolf release. So it's still in alpha, I guess. And I've got my old stuff up here. I should probably update this so that it's got some stuff. Pragmaticpizza.blogspot.com is where I have a blog I've had for a long time, and I talk about things like kilts and the English Renaissance and recipes and some tech stuff too. Excuse me. Smooth. That went down the wrong way. Okay. The rules for the game. Pretty simple. The goal of the game is to get all of your pawns off the board before the other player. So it's a race game. The white pawns go first. Pawns move, like playing pieces. Pawns move from the outside of the board, starting next to the rosette in the middle. And, trying to describe everything where a picture would be better here. Moving upward to the top, back down the middle, then to the outside again, and you move off. The game stops illegal moves, so I don't allow you to move things illegally in the game. Roll the dice by clicking on them. If you roll a 0, you lose your turn. You click and drag a pawn to the appropriate square. If you can't move a pawn, you lose your turn. You can't put 2 of your pawns on the same square. If you land on a rosette, so there's special squares that are marked with a rosette, you must roll for another turn. If you land on the rosette in the middle, it's safe from attack. So you can sit there if you can avoid having to move your piece, and nobody can land on it, and you kind of block action that way. If you land on a square containing another player's pawn, their pawn is returned to the pile and they must start over, unless, of course, the other player's pawn is safe. So if they're sitting on a rosette, you can't move there. A pawn can only exit on an exact roll, so you can't, say you're 3 steps from the end, you can't roll 4 and then move off. You have to roll 3. So it's a pretty simple, like backgammon, simple rules. So let's play. All right. So here's your board, and this simulates the box from the art for that game. If you go to the British Museum and look it up, you'll see it. I'm not an artist by any means, so it's a very crude drawing. Let me see if I can actually bring up and share. Let me move some stuff out of the way. And I can go to the British Museum. No, I don't want to go to the YouTube. I just want to go to the British Museum. Actually, this would be quicker if I just typed in Royal Game of Ur. I'm sure there's a Wikipedia on it. Here we go. So let me share my desktop. Pardon me while I move things around. Okay, this might be a little tiny, so we'll bigify it. There we go. So here's the board game that they found, and they had to reconstruct it because it was flattened. But it's actually a box along this edge. You can see where there's a drawer that you can pull out where you can get the game pieces. And these are the game pieces here. And it's very colorful. There's inlaid wood and I think there's precious stones on it, inlaid in it or something like that, or they use lapis, whatever, to do it. But these are the rosettes I was talking about. So you enter the board here. This is the first cell. And you move along. If you roll a 4, you would land here and you'd get to roll again because that's a rosette. And then this area, this is your, the white side. This is for the black pawns. The center is where you battle each other. So it's kind of a battle game. Think, similar to backgammon. And then here is the final rosette and you come off. And you need to move these pieces. The dice are a little interesting. So the dice are not a standard, what you would expect pair of dice. They're actually tetrahedrons, and they mark they don't have a pair of dice in here. They mark each one. Well, you can see it from my other screen. So let me get back to that. There we go. All right. So the dice are actually these tetrahedrons, and the corners are marked. So it can roll either, you have a 50-50 chance with a single die to roll either, 1 or 0, essentially. So what you end up rolling here is either nothing, or you can roll 4, and that's how many you move. White goes first. Now I have this set up with an AI. It's a very simple one so that it plays the black dice. You can ask for it to suggest what to do, but you have to roll first before you can do that. So click on the dice. It rolls 3. Now it'll suggest. See, it's calculating what the move is. So it's not the speediest, and it says, oh yeah, you could move it over here. So 1, 2, 3, and then it positions it. It automatically rolls the next player, and they also rolled a 3. Now it's my turn and I roll. I rolled a 2. I can either move this 2 places, but that puts me in danger of being 2 is the most probable roll. So I'm going to move here. They rolled 2. See, if they had rolled and I'd put my piece here, they would have sent me back. Okay. Believe me, it is actually random. So I rolled a 3. I cannot place a piece here. I could either move this 1, 2, 3 here, or I could 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to do that. They rolled 2. Now they've rolled onto a rosette, so they get to roll again. They rolled a 2. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to send me back. So it's my turn. Roll 1. So there is a little bit of strategy to this game. You can get rid of, that's the safe square, but you can roll. You also roll again because it's a rosette. And they decided to stick on that spot because I have that weighted higher than moving off of it. My turn. So I rolled 0, so I lost a turn. I roll 2. I'm going to go here so I can roll again. And I roll 2. Move them off. It's their turn. Okay, it's my turn. I roll a 2. I can't land here because it's safe. But I can move another piece out. They're going to move to this rosette because that'd be the most probable thing. Roll again. They rolled a 2. They're going to knock me off again. I rolled a 2. I want to go here so I can roll again. Oh. Sorry, I'm not watching the commentary here. the graphics are better than so many games from 84 to 80. Yeah, I'd like to come back and make this look more like the board from the historical one, but I think it would be too busy if I did that. But I could do some shading and stuff to make it look better. Yeah, the AI is, of course, I did the weighting for it. It's not a learning AI. It just calculates all possible moves. So I did a 3. The only thing I can do is bring another pip out. But if you watch Finkel's video where he plays with somebody, it's a lot more interesting when you have two people playing with each other. It's always more interesting you have two people playing with each other. Okay, they're going to probably move here. Roll again. Now they can move here, here, or there. And it's weighted more to move away from the battle area and away from the rest of the pips, because if you move 4, you could do something. So it's my roll. I've occupied all these spaces. I have to move 2. I don't have a choice. And the only one I can possibly move is this. It rolled 3. Thank you for not rolling 2. So it moved it off here. Now it's safe from being captured. I rolled a 0. So I rolled a 3. I'm going to move here so I can roll again. I'll roll a 1. Safer if I move like this. They rolled 2. They could take it off the board. Yep. So they've got 1 pip off the board. So their score is now 1. My turn. I rolled a 1. I can't move here. The only thing I can do is bring another piece out. Well, I could have moved here. They rolled 2. Probably bring another piece out. Yep. My turn. Roll 1. Okay, so I'm stuck again. I can't move here. The only place I can move is here. And they're going to knock me off. Oh, yep. See, they had 2 choices. They could have moved here or there. This moves them farther along. So, but my roll is a 2. I can knock them off. They rolled a 3. I lost my turn. I'm doing 2. I'm going to move here. Roll again. 3, 1, 2, 3. I can't do that. I think that's my, whoops. See, it won't let me move to the wrong square. And it just does a distance measurement to try to figure out what square you think you're moving onto. Roll 3. Knock them out. I rolled 3. They should knock me out. Yep. I can knock them out. So you can see it can get pretty brutal. They can roll again. They roll 2. They're going to knock me off again. And you could think you're winning, and then it could change rather drastically. So I could take this off, or I could put 2 on. I'm going to put another one on. See how they're occupying the safe spot that keeps me from taking it. You kind of want to hold that. It's like holding the high ground. Oh, I rolled 2. And I can knock them off. They're going to take this, I'm sure. Yep. And roll again. And knock me off. I'm going to go here so I can roll again. And I'm going to knock them off. So I rolled 3. I'm going to do this. They rolled 1. So are they going to take me? Yep. It did get them off that center. I rolled a 0 again. Why am I rolling 0 all the time and they're not? Three. Yep. Roll again. They could take that pip off. Yep. My turn. Roll 3. Now I can't move off. I can't take this spot. The only thing I can do is move here. And you have to move if you can. Otherwise you just lose your turn. Now it's my turn. 2. Ah. Oh, that's them, not me. Shoot. Yeah, I'm going to take this piece off. I think I'm going to lose. I get a bad feeling about this. Roll again. 1. I seem to be taking the brunt of the 0 rolls. Let's chance it. I got another 0. I need to check the random number generator on this. Doesn't feel very random. I lost another turn. Why, it's kicking my butt. Rolled a 3. And another 3. I think you need to speak to the dev of this game. Yeah. I wrote too smart an AI. Well, I wrote it to be very brutal. And, you know, this is where the randomness comes in. The fact that I've had so many 0 turns is really hurting me. So roll a 1, move a piece out. No, move a piece up. Okay. 1. 3. 2. I got skipped again. Has the other player been skipped? I don't think so. This isn't fair. Oops. Oh, I thought I had rolled. I was pretty sure I had rolled. Yeah, it might be a bug. Yeah, I could make a game option that would eliminate 0 rolls, but that's part of the original rules that Finkel put together. So, and I wanted to copy what he was doing. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm gonna lose. I lost. I'm sure I've lost. Aha, I finally got the center. Didn't roll a 1. Be smart about this. Now I could get lucky and just keep sending that pit back when it eventually moves. It seems to be luckier than me. Let's see if I can roll a 1. Nope. Ah, see, you couldn't move. Roll a 2. Send it back. Ha ha ha. Hey, I got a 0 finally. And I got another 0. It's about time. Doesn't feel very random, does it? Oh. Okay. Shoot. Yeah, I'm not likely to win. It's almost to its safe. Yeah, see, it's safe now. It just has to roll 2. I can roll again. Get off. See, it didn't roll the right. See, that's the problem when you get down to just having one left. Okay, I rolled 2. So, yeah, that's it. That's how the game works. So, I have the menu turned off, and I have, what did I use for a key? No. Ah. Now that quit. I'm trying to remember what I used to be able to get back into the programming menu on this. Hey, see ya, Garth. What did I use? I used something so that I could... Yeah, see, it turns the menu off. Anyway, that's the game. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I could go into the code, but we'd be here for another 6 hours. So I'm not gonna do that. Anyway. So it's not a very exciting game. One of the things I'd like to do to enhance it is make it so that you could play it over the internet. There is a way to do it over the internet. I'll have to play around with that and see about doing it. I'd probably first get it working over a local talk network or something like that. But you can get hooks into the event structure for the OS so that you could do stuff like that. There's also external commands and functions that you can load into HyperCard. I haven't messed with those myself, and I try to keep it as close to the stock install as possible. So I'll investigate what I can do with it, but it would be nice to be able to play this over the internet. I think it would be kind of cool. And there you are. That's the game. So anyway, thanks for everybody that came out. Yeah, I think it would be an interesting game to play. If you're good at backgammon, you would be very good at this. The rules are pretty simple. It only takes 5 minutes to learn. I also did a bag game version of this with tetrahedral dice for it and stuff. But board games are not the kind of thing that my family is into. So it's one of the reasons why I put the AI into it, is so that I could play with myself. But yeah, doing it over the internet would be cool on a HyperCard stack. I'd like to do that. So anyway, I guess that's it for today's stream. We went on for quite a lot longer than I expected to. So if you like this stream, please like it. If you didn't like this stream, like it anyway. I could use the likes. If you have friends and children with YouTube accounts, have them like it too, and follow, or subscribe, I should say, not follow. You can find me on Twitter at Eric's Edge. Obviously, if you're watching this live stream, you've seen me here on YouTube at Eric's Edge Videos. I'm also on Reddit under SDGOL, which is Supreme Dark Galactic Overlord, and there's a story behind that too. You can I'm not much on Facebook at all, but you can find me there too, probably. Mostly I just go to Facebook Marketplace and look for stuff. But anyway, if you guys have other game ideas, I'd like to do some more HyperCard development for stuff. One of the reasons why I'm doing these games, aside from the fact that I like HyperCard, is so that I can use it as material for the HyperCard course that I am working on. I promise. It's a very long course that's going to take quite a while to get through. Haven't even started the programming part. It's all about authoring in HyperCard, and the HyperCard environment is meant for non-programmers to be able to do stuff, and that's where I'm starting out. So if you don't know how to do any programming at all, consider following that stream and watching that series. So yeah, I need to publish these stories of mine. Yeah, I should have I do have a blog. Maybe I should be blogging some of the old stuff. I do want to make sure I protect the innocent and I don't tick off anybody that could profit from my death. So anyway, thanks for joining, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Now I gotta remember where the outro is. There it is. See you guys.